Tonight, justice is once more taking presidential history into new waters. The first child of a sitting U.S. president has been convicted of a crime. A jury in Delaware finding presidential son Hunter Biden guilty of 3 federal counts related to his purchase of a gun during a period he was using drugs. Hunter Biden's addiction struggles are well known, but special prosecutor David Weiss rejecting the idea that the case was just about addiction, saying the case was really about the illegal choices Hunter Biden made. After releasing a statement in which he once more vowed to accept the verdict, President Biden flying to Delaware, where he was greeted by his son Hunter on the tarmac. Ryan Nobles is in Delaware tonight with the latest.
Tonight, President Biden arriving in Delaware, hugging his son on the tarmac after Hunter Biden became the first child of a sitting president found guilty in a criminal trial.
No one in this country is above the law.
It took just 3 hours of deliberations for 12 jurors to unanimously determine that Hunter Biden was guilty of 3 felony counts for lying about his drug use on a federal background check in order to buy a gun. Special counsel David Weiss, who oversaw the prosecution, saying this was not a case about Hunter's struggles with crack, but his decision to break the law.
His choice to lie on a government form when he bought a gun and the choice to then possess that gun. It was these choices and the combination of guns and drugs that made his conduct dangerous.
Inside the courtroom, the president's 54-year-old son did not react as the verdict was read. He left the courthouse holding the hand of the First Lady, later releasing a statement saying, "I am more grateful today for the love and support I experienced this last week from Melissa, my family, my friends, and my community than I am disappointed by the outcome." The verdict comes after 4 days of damning testimony from people who are or were once close to Hunter Biden. Many testifying about his drug use around the time he filled out the background check, saying he was not a drug user. Zoe Keston, his ex-girlfriend, testifying she witnessed Hunter smoking crack every 20 minutes or so. The prosecution also using clips from Hunter's own book.
I had no plan beyond the moment-to-moment demands of the crack pipe.
The defense had argued Hunter Biden did not knowingly lie on the form. Tonight, we spoke to juror number 10, who asked that we conceal his identity.
But you felt, you and your jurors, separating the politics from the case was not
absolutely
difficult.
Yeah, yes.
And how,
this was, for us, it was not politically motivated. So politics never played in anything that we said in the jury room.
President Biden, who said he would not pardon his son, writing, "Jill and I love our son, and we are so proud of the man he is today. Jill and I will always be there for Hunter and the rest of our family with our love and support. Nothing will ever change that."
So, Ryan, what now? What happens next for the Hunter Biden case?
Well, Hunter Biden's defense team has said that they will appeal this case. Right now, he is facing a maximum of 10 years in prison if the sentences are handed down concurrently. At this point, the judge has not set a sentencing date. Lester? All
right, Ryan Nobles, thanks. For more on the verdict, we're joined by senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett. Laura, what's the most likely sentence we could see in this case?
Well, Lester, this sentencing is still roughly 4 months off at this point, so both sides will have a chance to present their arguments. But realistically, the judge is likely to give him a sentence significantly shorter than that maximum Ryan outlined because he's a first-time offender with no criminal history.
And
Lester.
he faces another trial as well.
He does, and that one is set to start in September. He's pleaded not guilty to charges of tax evasion in California, where prosecutors say he failed to pay taxes on millions in foreign income, instead spending that money on drugs, hotels, cars. Now, his attorneys argue he ultimately repaid those taxes, but if convicted there, he faces even more time, up to 17 years in prison. And in that case, because of his conviction today, he would have a criminal history that judge must consider, Lester.
All right, Laura, thanks very much. This verdict, of course, coming against the backdrop of the 2024 presidential race. Hallie Jackson is with us now. Hallie, how does this potentially impact the campaign?
Well, Lester, for the president, it is deeply personal. And look at the timing here. Key moments like his son's sentencing, like the next trial, are likely to collide with the heart of the fall election season. That said, the guilty verdict may also undercut one of the attack lines former President Trump has used. His claims the justice system is weaponized against him, considering the guilty verdict for the president's own son. Hunter Biden's conviction may complicate some Democrats' push to hammer Mr. Trump as a convicted felon. But Hunter Biden, of course, is not on the ballot. The Trump campaign calling this trial, in their words, a distraction from what they allege are other Biden family crimes, despite a GOP-led investigation turning up no evidence of that. And keep in mind that while this moment is historic, polls consistently show voters say they care far more about the economy and immigration. Lester.
Hallie Jackson, thank you. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.